couple small team fights, EG gets back in it, and all of a sudden they get an easy 4-0, 5-0, and at that point you're going to lose.
I mean, let's flip it around a little bit. If Vega hadn't overextended on those couple of occasions when they tried the top racks, are they then in a better position to soak up that stuff and then go on and win? Do you think it was that critical?
Yeah, the repercussions of them pushing every time, just let EG go back into the game. They get more and more farm on every hero that they have. I think their supports were very underfarmed up until the point where they start getting the Raxes. We're back into the draft. Maybe we should focus on the next game instead. I think we talked this one to death.
I'll make that that was a fairly even trade between you and Malini.
I mean, I definitely won that. Yeah, so Undying banned by Vega Squadron, Slaughter as well. Not too surprising.
Okay.
This, however, Shadow Fiend over the... Okay.
Those heroes have really big win rates on EG's team. Winter Wyvern's been one of the most picked heroes by all teams, even across regions.
So you were saying this earlier, Kevin, so for all the uninitiated who doesn't follow as many lands as a lot of other people, the lands tend to always have a developing meta game. When we went into this, most people would expect Doom to be clear first pick material. We've seen a lot of Shadow Fiend being the initial hero to be picked up by a lot of the top teams. And then Doom actually coming out as the fourth pick, slightly surprising, but the combo of Darkseer and Winter Wyvern is especially strong in teamfight, as it's just really good for setting up a teamfight, obviously, but also for your lanes, and just generally a very open draft for them, whereas Doom would narrow down the field a bit.
Protects them against a brood pick as well, which is something Vega is very likely to draft. I'm sure it's something that EG has been practicing since they knew that Vega was going to be their opponents, although it was a little bit last minute due to some bracket confusions, but I know for a fact that they're prepared to do the 1v1 and then do an aggressive trialing if they need to.
Additionally interesting is that the Tusk is not touched in the first phases, just like game one.
It doesn't have the biggest win rate, and we saw it do a ton of work in Vega's lineup last game, but once you get late game, what does Tusk do? He does stuns for 2 seconds. Ice Shards is less good because people have Force Staffs and Blink Daggers and all these ways to prevent damage.
I don't know, I think Solo made a great case for why Tusk is still great in the late game.
Yep.
What aspects do you think? Like scouting Roshan with Sigil?
He can still kite BKB, I think is one of his biggest things. With Punch and Sigil, as well as well-placed Frost Shards, I think that's one of, and even just snowballing past a BKB hero.
His entire skill set for a support is very, very useful at all points of time in the game.
But I would say that in a late game scenario, that a hero like Bane or Dazzle are better, because Grave is completely game-changing, Fiend's Grip is the better BKB killer.
I mean, I'm prone to agree with you, but it's very situational, right? With all things Dota.
Yeah.
So it depends on the enemy lineup, and I think like the Tusk was instrumental to how they dealt with the Sven in last game.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely got them to their gold advantage. Gyrocopter is the pick for EG, nothing surprising here, very common carry. And there's the Night Stalker for Vega, so they're getting a lot of their comfort heroes.
Again.
Again.
But now as evil geniuses with like overwhelming amounts of team fight in the early game.
Oh, I really like this pickup, Spirit Breaker. Probably the one I've been the biggest fan of the heroes that Fear has been playing on the support role, much more so than both the Bane and the Undying even.
It's good against Shadow Fiend, you can combo with Darkseer really well. It's definitely a very good pick at this stage.
Last one here.
Like Winter Wyvern a lot against these high HP heroes. It's actually quite good against Doom, really. Very high HP, and he's regenning, so it does a little bit more damage than it would to most people when you hit him with the Arctic Burn.
Their lanes are a lot better this game.
Yeah. I feel like Vega has picked maybe too many strength heroes. This is a Timbersaw game.
Actually, Timbersaw is amazing here. It combos really well with the Darkseer Vacuum, obviously. And with Winter Wyvern to additionally hold them in their place, yeah, I think you make a great case for Timbersaw. And it is the Sumail hero that we are missing.
It's not amazing if you get doomed, obviously, because you are very cast heavy. Like, you casting spells is extremely important, but...
I mean, still, they can just surge them out, though. I think they even have good ways to deal with Doom this game.
We've had 50 games so far. This is the 51st, and Tusk has been picked or banned in every single one of them so far.
Ooh, will he get picked?
This one.
But maybe for the first time at the major.
I mean, EG won't pick him up, and Vega
won't either.
Yeah, Vega won't either.
So, congratulations, Tusk. You are out of the metagame.
Jug banned out as well. They definitely need a physical damage carry. Maybe not, because I guess they are against a Winter Wyvern, but Would it be too greedy to even go for a hard carry? Maybe they do a semi-carry in the safe lane?
I mean, there is Silence and Doom. I'm thinking they didn't expect the Temper Sword to be picked up now. I'm still a bit on the fence about it.
I would love to see some Timber
I
Sword.
think TA was the right band here.
Yeah, it's good against SF if you're ahead.
Oh, there's a treat.
That's got to be a Sumail and Boker, right? Because RGZ,
Yeah.
I don't think plays it. Neither of those players.
He's
I don't.
practiced it.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think there's anything Sumail can't play if he puts his mind to it.
I
am
totally
probably
believe you.
his
Just-
biggest fan.
Just this is the first time we've seen it, to my knowledge. Especially on a big stage like this. Almost every team had like 2 Invoker games in their last 10 games leading into this tournament. So I feel like it's a hero that will be pulled out occasionally in times like this. He's going to get doomed a lot though, that's for sure.
I actually think it's a great lineup from Evil Genius. It's very well rounded, has great supports, great team fight, sufficient late game, good ways of dealing with the enemy. I really
Definitely giving Vega something to think about for the final pick.
It's like a reverse of the last game. One team looks like they have all the pieces that fit together, and the other one looks like a little hard to digest.
I don't think you can teamfight versus that though. So do you have to go to a split push?
That is... ugh.
You also got to be careful with going, like you can't go too greedy of a hero right now in the carry position, because it is the carry we're looking at.
I mean, it could be carry Doom, but unlikely.
More range disable would be definitely needed, because right now they just have Cask and Night Stalker slow, basically. So carry with a disable. They picked some Luna recently, but I don't think this is a Luna game. It's not terrible. It's a little too carry heavy though. Okay, well,
Tusk is back.
Saved at the last moment. Vega Squadron Evil Geniuses game 2 on the way. Let's head back to Cinderin and Toby 1.
Thank you very much, Paul. Yes, we are back for Vega versus EG, game number 2. After Vega seemed to have it almost in the bag, but it jumped out of the bag halfway through that, and EG claim out first game, and now they seem to be very comfortable with their picks.
Yeah, I think this is a really interesting draft as well. Tusk was not the last pick I was expecting. I think the panel had a good point when they were talking about the potential of split pushing. Then again, it's difficult against Spirit Breaker, but they could have thought about something like an Anti-Mage in this game, I would say. But they go for the classic Vega fighting style, which is of course understandable. It's a very big comfort pick for them, and it was great last game.
Yeah. Great in all games, really. But Mag, he's going to be the man forced to play it. So it's not this support role Tusker we were looking at. That's going to be instead for the Night Stalker role. And it will, in fact, be this number 1 position Doombringer on the top lane because of that Tusker pickup. Is this really going to be the strength right now of Vega? Like we all are very intimidated by Doombringer. Like he is the hero for the current meta. But is he going to be enough to go up against what EG is going to be throwing? Considering they can remove his, they can't remove his regeneration, but they can remove his speed and his ability to move across this map.
EG don't have that high single target damage. I'm guessing Sumail will be going as an Exort build this game. I think it's the logical choice with what they have. If he doesn't, then I think it's a really good Doom game. Gyrocopter can be a threat to Doom if he comes up close, but then again, you can't really come up close with Gyro against Doom without, getting Doom.
Can you just kite him? Just kite him the entire time. Like, actually go for more like a Quas Wex build, and you rely on the Tornado EMP to be your setup. Then you can have your follow-up into your Darkseer with Wall, Vac, the Curse, all of this jazz put together. For now, though, well, they're going to try and fight it out. Soul going to be forced back down. Raised already up for no one, doing some early damage. Paralyzing Count's going to bounce twice in the charge, keeping no one off the rune. Spirit Breaker will be taking that one, and Pasha, not a healthy man. There was 2 Iron Shells on his back right now, trying to run away from Universe. But the Scorched Earth will allow him to do so, but this is a first-level Scorched Earth for a Doombringer. Maybe not so brutal because he is running that safe lane Doom.
And EG get both runes. They got one on the Breaker, actually, and the other one on the Gyro. So this is going to be a fast level 2 for Fear, which is very, very nice when you're playing a Darkseer Spirit Breaker offlane, getting that Greater Bash. being able to pressure the Doom a lot. This is very hard for Pasha to play this lane, actually.
How is Doom meant to do this? You're going to get Iron Shell burned out the entire time, and because you're committing Seema to the middle lane to help out no one, there isn't that extra hand up there to help you.
Yeah, he's in for a difficult. Yeah, I don't know if Seema can. He gives a couple of last hits to no one in the mid lane, and now he probably has to go top.
Is this even the right choice to do? Like when Solo does a push like this, you can just Iron Shell and just charge in underneath that tier 1 tower when you got the creep wave with you.
That's why they need the Witch Doctor up here to disallow EG from going for these dives. It is a great hero against Spirit Breaker Darkseer lane. He's still gonna stay mid for a bit though, as now Doom has got the ability to get some creeps under his tower with his pull out from Solo.
Another downside for Vega, impossible to stack in this game. Too easy to lose it.
Oh, they did stack once. So it's not impossible.
It's impossible to keep it though. Like, the second you move the Witch Doctor off the lane or no one off the lane, that you can just run over as EG and contest.
It's something Vega definitely need to keep an eye on. They did a very good job with keeping an eye on stacks in general in the first game. I don't think it's that easy for EG. I get what you mean that Darkseer and Breaker can try to take it with the Ion Shells, and yes, that is true. But it's very telegraphed if they leave the lane. And it still takes them a good 15-20 seconds to take a stack like that.
Going to be charged right now. PPD trying to contest for the rune. It's going to be a bounty for him, but with the charge coming in and the Iron Shell burn, Solo is going to be very, very low. He's going to try and run it around, but Fear, well, you realize Universe was coming down through the river entrance. The Sunstrike, boom! Taking out Solo. And an easy first blood coming the way of Samel, with the rest of his team doing all the hard lifting.
Very nice for him to get that golden experience from that, though. Invoker versus Shadow Fiend mid is not that easy for Invoker in the early levels since he has so low base damage, so Shadow Fiend can actually manage.
Actually, no, there's no mana on Mag. You just want to consume a mango for this. It's just having Solo aggressively TP like that, go directly for the Void on Arteezy. Like, he still had the regeneration from the fountain, so I can understand it. Just gave me pause for concern.
It's very hard for them to go in on Arteezy with this duo of heroes. Any sort of TP turnaround with Rocket Barrage will get them killed. And he also very wisely already picked up a magic stick. Mid lane, there might be an opening here for Vega.
It's gonna be difficult for Vega, however. Like if they aggressively move forward with the Witch Doctor, Samel's gonna know something's wrong, and they also know the Night Stalker moved off the lane with an unknown rune. Looks like top lane Doom forced to pop off this defensive Scorched Earth, and not really the creep he was searching for. It's not really that efficient for him to CS with, but at least it's something. He's got Chain Lightning in this Doombringer.
Kind of nice, actually. It's some good damage. It's very cost efficient. It's a 140 damage nuke for 50 mana.
Universe trying to surge himself away Solo. No Void for it. Paralyzing Cast going to slow him down. Universe very, very low and probably very, very dead. He could potentially salve, waiting for the last attack. And, well, okay, value creep. A Doombringer killing with Chain Lightning from the Devoured Harpy.
I actually think this spell is incredible on Doom. It's a 4-second cooldown, 140 damage nuke. And
it's incredible on Harpy with the amount of mana that she's got, but with...
As long as he can sustain enough of a mana pool to use this, I think it's very good for the situation. I mean, this is a great decision from Pasha. I like it a lot.
Decision gets him a kill. Middle lane as well, Solo. We've hit nighttime and Samel instantly being attacked. He needs a lot more help to try and survive this, but then again, Solo, that charge is coming in. He's running up towards the Ancients. The Sunstrike, if he runs north, oh no! He was pushed back too far and Fear's trapped at the tree line. He can't chase any further.
That's unfortunate. There's no other way of putting that. I don't think he would have... Would he have died to the Sunstrike?
He
would have, I think.
He would have. And now the charge will come again. No one being cold slapped. Arteezy rotates in. He doesn't, well, with the 4 stick charges now, he's got the mana for the call down. And Seema actually triggering the mango. Do they get a bash? Any kind of stun? Nothing. And the damage is not enough, so the call down is blown. Arteezy is still, however, there to make sure this SF doesn't get out of control. Smel's actually a full level in front, or almost a full level in front of him, especially when Solo does this, the cold snap, ticking him down. Sunstrike Invoke is a possibility, but he'll be bottled up by no one as he arrives back in the lane.
And the one we haven't seen so much from so far is Mag, who still hasn't rotated. That was Arteezy's first rotation on the Gyra into the mid lane. But Mag has slowly got himself Arcane Boots and almost level 6. And That's kind of a problem for EG, that they've managed to get this much on the Tusk. It gives them a lot of potential during the nighttime Tusk and Night Stalker teaming up. I'm imagining Mag is going to play a very big role in this game.
I agree. It's going to be interesting to watch the timing between him as well as Universe. Mag for the aggression, so you look to see when he's able to get that Blink Dagger up, and Universe see when he's able to get the mech charge. Because once that's arrived, EG's survivability is really big. Combining Cold Embrace with the mech and the natural tankiness of the EG heroes. Even Samel can have it if he switches himself to a high level up in Quas. Top lane, Pasha, Sunstrike's going to connect, and they just charged him with the Iron Shell. There need to be one more punch from Universe to get that kill. Maybe two by the looks of it, but the paralyzing cast keeps him out. Universe really wanted to go for it. The Scorched Earth regeneration just too good. Now the snowball comes, 3 heroes there, and that's going to be the death of the Darkseer on top, as they very aggressively committed for that. Arteezy's trying to get himself into the jungle. It's that 6-minute timing you look for the stacks. He can't contest it, however, because there's just too many heroes from Vega rotating back.
That was so cocky from Pasha. He ran into the side shop next to those 2 heroes with 300 health, knowing, of course, he could trigger the Scorched Earth. I think he hadn't accounted for the Sunstrike. And I do believe it split onto him and a creep.
It did.
And if it didn't, he would have died instantly there. That would have been a really big mistake, but luck on his side, and they get a great kill out of it. So, high risk, high reward.
It was a heavy rotation, though. So now Vega have no one on bottom lane, and PPD is making the most out of the space created. As I say that, the level 3 Night Stalker, who definitely needs some space of his own, rotates down to the bottom lane. And the charge top, Fear, going up to Pasha, try again as she pulls out of it. He was a little bit too late behind for the charge. Pasha was going to reach the tower in time, and they'll put the Sunstrike off target too. So they didn't have the damage.
Pasha is going to devour the little... Interesting. He devoured the little satyr. So now he has Purge. This is
against the Darkseer?
Yes, it's very nice against the Darkseer Surge, of course, but it's still a very expensive spell. So it costs 120 mana. This is mana he kind of doesn't have right now compared to the 50 cost of Chain Lightning.
You wonder who else it would be for, though. Like, the only thing that would really stop is that Surge away.
Doom also purges, so he doesn't technically need it. He can use the Doom after the Surge and he kills him anyway.
Bottom lane, Solo copping a lot of damage. That charge is still coming in, Solo. If he hangs around the lane, he'll probably end up dying. In fact, there's your Sunstrike. Solo turns for the Void, and because of that, Samel's Sunstrike hits perfectly. The follow-up into no one. Arteezy going very deep with this, however, but he'll still find the kill. TP is available, and will he get there in time? Mag, where's that punch? He can't reach him. Just around the corner of the tree line. He didn't have the vision.
He didn't get vision there?
Nope.
Wow. That was a really great play from both sides, actually. The triple race combo from no one was excellent. Arteezy following through with the kill and finally just barely getting out. Good stuff.
Top quality Dota. EG. Now they actually will take out T1 tower because Vega committed so much to that bottom lane. The SF's still down. They're in no position to try and fight. It's also that catch-up time. Like, it's not just the fact that you die and you lose your money. It's then the fact that you've got to get back up and running, back into your lane, back to your farming, and with the SF, even more critically, back up to max souls. Every death makes it longer before the SF's ready to fight. Arteezy against Solo, waiting in the wings, into the woods. Solo, Rocket Barrage can hit very hard. The cooldown's there. The Sunstrike just in case he keeps running up, and Solo knew he was dead. Very far away from the rest of his team. Wasn't even a warding mission, he just walked up in preparation. That Observe Ward sees all of Vega coming. Arteezy again, the TP out, the punch. Wait, what?
Again, really?
He flipped him in base. The Walrus punch flipped him in base.
That's a long arm.
Mag taking up baseball next season. Tier 1 tower as well now takes so much damage. Damn, this has been like, okay, Sunstrike, snowball protection. In fact, they come down after Fear with the Walrus punch. This time it will connect. The Razors from no one helps him out. But a Solo getting kills, especially Solo getting kills during this time, like during daytime.
Yeah, he needs it so bad. He finally got his earn, minute 10. This is the risk of running support Night Stalker in general. It's very momentum driven. If your early game falls apart, you have a very hard time coming back. But in this case, the couple of kills that they have found, he's 1, 3, and 2, which obviously doesn't look great on paper, but this last kill was very, very crucial for his impact in the next nighttime.
You know that meg timing I was talking about? Universe has finished the headdress and the buckler 10 minutes in. That's on top of buying up arcane boots too.
He's good farm.
Yeah.
60 CS at minute 10.
For a guy who's got 2 deaths as well.
Yeah, I don't think he lost very much gold on his deaths. I'm pretty sure he's been buying up. That's the nice thing about the mechanism build-up in general, is that the parts are pretty small apart from the recipe. So very often if you get ganked, you lose maybe 50 or 100 gold.
It's interesting to note too the fact that like Arteezy is the opposite end of the scale. He's got 2 kills and no deaths, but his net worth is still like it's neck and neck with the Darkseer. Not really finding that much CS on this bottom lane.
He has been pretty active in this game. I think it's been useful too. Like you said, he's been part of 4 out of 5 kills, so...
Vega.
Well, these shards are not enough.
No, it's not. And they don't understand that Observer Ward's sitting up in their jungle. That's what's allowing EG to just have the advantage in these engagements. Arteezy, bottom lane. Tier 1 tower is going to belong to him. Does a lot of damage to Solar, but the TP support's coming in. And Arteezy, well, buy up your items. He just knew it in time. Loses 200 gold. That's
nice.
Solar! Oh, Samel's going to get a little bit of tit for tat.
It looks like Vega aren't very used to playing against this Exort Invoker.
It's not a commonplace thing.
If you play against this hero, like if you play this game again, he won't get hit by that. He will think about it, but you just need to get used to it during the game. And Samel has got himself a couple of very nice kills. He's 4-0 right now on Invoker with all these Sunstrikes. So
it's gonna be a top lane play
nice
for the
snipe.
Doom. Walking straight past, the Sunstrike's actually going to hit Pasha on top of the Iron Shell. He's going to scorch earth himself away to safety with the phase boots too, but that charge is coming in from Fear. He's going to pull out.
He could have maybe tried for it if he had an Iron Shell on him, but there's no way he, even with that, I don't think he kills Pasha.
Yeah.
It's a good hero.
Good regeneration.
Yep.
And no Ancient Apparition to stop him in this game.
Yeah, they did try to counter him quite a bit in the early laning stage, and I think they succeeded. The fact that he is behind Invoker is great for EG here.
The fact
safe lane Doom is usually just on top.
Like, how are you meant to run any kind of melee hero against a Spirit Breaker and a Darkseer? Like, you have double Iron Shells and 2 heroes that can close the distance on you so quickly. So, it seems almost impossible lane for a Doombringer.
It's definitely very hard. But he made the most of it. Once again, the chain lightning creep he got him a kill. Then he transitioned into this purge that I still haven't really seen the utility of just yet. He doesn't have mana to use it right now with Doom and Scorched Earth, as a matter of fact.
Maybe he's just waiting until he can get himself a new creep, because he spent all the time in the lane. And if it's like a conscious decision, or if it's just a decision of situation, he hasn't been able to get himself into the jungle to grab a good creep.
Yeah, are there any wolves? It doesn't look like there are any wolves in his own jungle. In the enemy jungle, there are also no wolves.
But that's it. EG,
important
4-man smoke move. Now, how much do they really see as they come over? Because we are still... Okay, now even less, because it's darkness. The Observer Wall is down from Vega, and they really feel like something is wrong. Spirit Breaker's charging in, so that's keeping the vision over on Pasha, and PBD moves forward. They've got the Curse of Babel, doing it on the Doombringer, but no, the Shards actually pushing him back down again, away from the Sunstrike, and Seeming gets a full duration ulti off. Darkseer is down, but the Invoker burning it with a Meteorite. But still too much damage being done out of Vega. The Requiem made a lot of space for him, and now PPD attempts to TP out. There's no Walrus Punch, so the attempt will be successful. Samel, however, needs to buy himself some space. Back into the tree line. The Dyna's still working. The buyback comes out from Fear, and no one. Where's your Cold Snap? Where's your stun? It's going to connect from Fear, combining with the Sunstrike. No one will die underneath the Radiant Tier 1 tower, making that buyback really worth it for Fear.
Great buyback. Samel would have most certainly died there. And he is, of course, a very big kill. He has a mega kill streak. And getting the Shadow Fiend in return is an added bonus. I'm not sure if EG were expecting they would be able to get a kill, but at the very least protects Samel there.
He's a big one to protect, as you said. Like, he's got a lot of kills, and he's also got this uptime. That Hand of Midas already up to level 11 on Samel. Neck and neck with the SF still. But when you're running a Hand of Midas on this Invoker and you're taking early towers, EG getting a huge injection of money coming their way.
The downside for EG is, as we talked about, Arteezy still not being up that high on the gyrocopter. 5.4k at minute 15 is, I would guess, below his average on the hero. going for Assange so far, so he is tanky. That actually played a pretty big role in that fight, how tanky Arteezy was. Yes, he did die, but it took a lot of effort for Vega, so EG's trade-off wasn't all that bad.
He tanked almost all of the Death Ward.
Yeah, he took a Death Ward. Who did they doom? Actually, I didn't notice. They might have found Universe, because I didn't see a vacuum or a wall, I think. He's also only level 9, so he would have been 8 in the fight. I don't know. Right now, you want to Doom Invoker, if you can. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a mobility item to get in on him just yet on the Doom.
And even if you do try and get in close, like you're gonna need to have that Blink Dagger. A 4-star won't do it. You need to almost be invis to get on top. Maybe even something like a Shadowblade build. But he went for a Vladimir's offering instead. So again, we see Vega, like they did it with the Ember Spirit previously, where they build for an earlier fight. They get Face Boots, Drums, and Vlads on a Doombringer. Instead of going in for like that initiation, Shadowblade, the Blink Dagger, that kind of jazz.
I think that's next in his plans. It should be. It's very important for Vega to find the good opening. And whenever you have a Tusk on your team, and they even have Witch Doctor heal together with the Scorched Earth, he has quite a bit of room for error, as long as he doesn't get completely blown up by this Exort Invoker's burst. As we saw in the previous fight, EG committed heavily onto Pasha, but just the Ice Shards saving him from the Sunstrike, which I think was more luck than actually planned for Vega there. If the Sunstrike doesn't land on Doom, I don't think he dies. So being able to blink Doom the Invoker keeps him safe, simply.
Here's a question for you. Should no one complete up the S and Y, or should he be looking more towards a BKB?
He should be looking to survive.
Also, top lane, Arteezy should be looking to do the same kind of thing. Well, how much damage have you got with your call down? The Sunstrike connects on solo. Vega copping a fair chunk of damage for it, but they still get the big kill. They bring down the gyro.
I think Sanjin Yasha for no one in this game is good.
The charging mid. You also have to set up by Sumail, and with a Deafening Blast, the Meteorite, and Fear charging in, oh, they easily get the kill. Sumail was already moving on before the death happened. And now actually a drum charge from the Doombringer. He's running down the bottom room, but Sumail, he just got a regeneration rune after finding the kill. Understanding the Invoker's right behind him.
Scorched Earth on cooldown, so he can't get enough movement speed, and again a mobility item here would have been nice for him. Of course, this Vlad's is great for the team fights, but in comparison to a lot of other Doom games, I don't think the Vlad's is that useful right now, as the vast majority of the EG's damage is just pure magical. The armor's going to be great later on when Gyro starts hitting hard with Flat Cannon.
Maybe it's meant to be for something else. I'll get back to it in a moment, but Pasha charged, bash back, Universe. He's still got that level 3 back available, and Pasha, well, there goes your curse as well from PPD, combining with the Sunstrike. They have more than enough damage to burn through him. But it's an older school build. I remember I think it was Artstyle that used to do this a lot with the Doombringer. Maybe not with the drums, but went for an early Vlads because they were trying to focus more on Roshan. And they used the Vlads to enable them to do so.
It is the standard build nowadays to go for this drum Vlads, so it's not a surprising build, but I just don't know if it's the best one for this type of game. But we'll see if it pays off. Of course, great for team fighting, but that was not a team fight.
Yeah.
He just got destroyed by 4 heroes. Notice how much they had to commit, though. Like, imagine there's any sort of help in sight. A mech from the Tusk, maybe a snowball. It's very different.
That's true. But EG, they're playing to their strengths. They're picking the fights they know they can win. And the rest of the time, they're just going back into the farm. And it's going to get even stronger for them soon, because Sumail's building into this Necro book for the Invoker. This will give them the pushing power as well as that ability to take away a hell of a lot of mana during the team fight, which we're already talking about the problems of Doombringer having enough mana during these fights. Might get a little worse for him.
It looks like
even Tusker. If he
Shadow
actually gets
Fiend is going BKB, I think, Toby. Else he would have bought his Sanjin Yasha by now. Probably not saving for buyback. It's a little bit early to do that for Shadow Fiend, so we'll prioritize that. It is, of course, the item against Invoker, and also great against Gyrocopter, so I don't blame him. But at the same time, if he doesn't time it very well, it's not... Well, neither Sanjin Yasha, so...
Yeah, that's easy. The attack's coming in. They trigger Darkness, allowing the Void Nurse to do their work, but Tuskar's too far away. The shards are flying in, but Arteezy dodges, in fact, Fear. Well, that was just an intimidation charge in case Vega decided to cross the river line.
And now it is nighttime when this darkness ends, so... Vega have a little bit more control. EG have done a very good job not losing a tower, by the way. 20 minutes into this lineup. I think it's very impressive. It's not that Vega have great pushing heroes, but they just have really good map control heroes to find an opening and turn it into a tower.
EG are getting ready to fight again. Grouping up in the mid behind Sumail, Arteezy. He's just itching for some CS. 105 is not enough for him. Sumail's almost finished his Necrobook level 1. We're still 20 minutes into the game, but with EG being on a wrap around, okay, they can see the Doombringer and they just charge it. They want to kill off Pasha, and the back 3-man wall with the curse as well. DG definitely blasting back Vega. They've lost so much. Mag will arrive with a mech, but can he repair the damage which has been done? No, he cannot. Solo's on the run out of here. Sumail's got no more control. Actually, he's got the Yule Scepter available, but doesn't want to do it while the homing missiles on the tail of Solo. But let's go anyway. They'll take the tier 2 tower, and there's that combo. EG gave up Doom and SF in the first 2 to try and get this combo. That Darkseer back into Curse, and it worked a charm.
I'm wondering if EG would have killed all 3 if they didn't use Curse. Because of the damage mitigation on the other heroes, the EG combo looked way less scary than it could have. But I think Tusk was one of the heroes in the combo, so if they don't Curse, he will be able to do a counter snowball and they can look really bad. But that was, no matter what, beautiful execution from EG. They get another tower. They're just in a very good position in this game. And Vega, they're falling behind very much, actually. 7,500 golden XP. Shadow Fiend now finally will be grabbing his Black King bar. And it's time for them to fight. If they just keep playing like this, EG are outplaying them too much.
Yeah. Make the most out of it. It's still nighttime for them. And they're coming in for that tier 1 tower, so finally that run of EG not losing a single tier 1 tower will come to an end. The Forged Spirits will come in from the back, taking away this armor which Doom is trying to give to the rest of his team with a meteorite falling as well. SF4 takes out the tower. Vega can regenerate pretty quickly, but they get chipped down a little bit, and Arteezy's pushing up the top lane at the same time. And you've got Fear who's soaking up a little bit more on bottom. And is he actually going for a late Midas? We're looking at old school 22 Midas.
It could be. They're in such a good position in the game, and Fear has got a lot done with just his current items. He's all about the charge ult and not so much about sustaining in the fight and keeping on hitting targets. He's just an opener. So with a Midas, he can become more of a core later on. When they've taken towers, probably get away with it.
Like, what else would you get with a Glove of Haste? Like, unless he's thinking about going in for an SB armlet.
It is actually a cool item on the hero, but I don't think this is the game for it. Maelstrom. If he wants to farm, he could also get Maelstrom, but nah. Tower trade?
Looks to be. Tier 1 tower on the bottom lane, taken out by the SF. And the first use of Sumail's Necrobook's already on this top lane. They're going to beat down the tower with the Force Spirits forward. Mag does not really want to be part of this fight. In fact, he may even just die to this if he's not too careful. Being very mindful of the Sunstrike. It looks like Solo is the only one who was chasing after EG.
I think what Vega needs is... The problem is EG are reading the map so well. Vega just needs the initiation. If they have that on their side and they don't cluster up too much for a vac wall burst combo, I think they're fine. Doom still cannot initiate for them. He's going for a BKB, so the only way they really bring him in is with Snowball, and that's just risky to stack 2 heroes on top of each other against EG's team.
So instead they just have to use Solo to slow down EG so the Doombringer can get close enough. That's what they'll try now. They break through the smoke and move instantly over towards PPD. And PPD, well, he's silenced up and destroyed. The Meteorite, however, Universe trying to back and back in with the Meteorite connecting. They have the Death Ward, but Greaves is negating most of that damage early on. In fact, Fear is now going to charge himself in. No one's too low. He can't survive this. Fear, one bash will do the work for him. No one gets the ulti up. At least it'll be a bit of a trade-off. But Pasha, how much life has he got up against Arteezy? Looks like it's more than enough. It's a 2-for-1 trade-off up against Sumail, however. Well, with that control, Steamer can't survive that. The Paralyzing Cask will lock Sumail and Arteezy here. Mag can't find another follow-up. In fact, they just jumped forward towards Pasha. The Iron Shell damage, in fact, with the Nether Strike, they push the Doombringer back. And Vega will lose 3 on this top lane. They're just trying to get the hell out of there. In fact, what is this courier doing on the... It tried to deliver no one Sanj. It's trapped on the radiant side of the base. If it flies out, it's going to get visible instantly in the lane.
I mean, you could start moving it north and then east, at least along the tree line to start getting it back, but...
It's just sitting here. That's a full Sanj just sitting there. They're going to need that.
Now they start moving...
PPD, yeah, he's... Now the courier is moving.
Yeah, there we go. But I know I'm harping on it a lot, but again, the Doom can't get into the fight, right? They even come in with smoke and they catch EG by surprise, but they have no way of disabling Sumail from using his own Blink Dagger. He got more than enough time to react and get out. And then, yes, they find PPD from that gank, but it's not what they want. And then when they finally do get the Doom on Sumail, they couldn't follow through. He just ran away, waited out.
Is that the question mark? Where, like, because Solo had the option to initiate onto Sumail, but he chose PPD instead. Like, are they just too concerned about the control that can come from that Wyvern?
I don't think he reached Sumail. But yeah, you're right. He did have nighttime vision, so he should have seen it first. That he probably could have gone in for it. Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's just one of those times where, like, you look at the starting target and you have that question, like, coming into the fight, after what happened in middle lane, that's got to be sitting in the back of your mind. It's like, okay, am I going to get backed into a big curse? Okay, we have to take curse out of the fight so we can engage properly.
But there are other problems. There's vacuum into the Invoker combo, which we got to see a bit of, and of course the cooldown.
Yeah, but if they just doom the Invoker doesn't die.
No, they have to, of course, follow through on the kill. That's very true.
So if they just burn the Doom, then EG disengage. Wyvern will just Arctic burn himself away, and there's no control on that. So then they take nothing from the fight. It's a rock and a hard place for Vega, how they start the fight.
It depends how confident they are. I think with the Invoker out of the picture, if he's just doomed and they run him down, as long as they don't get like super comboed with a 4 or 5 man vacuum and a cooldown, all of them, if they commit, say, Tusk and Doom to kill the Invoker, I don't think EG's counterplay is strong enough to win that fight.
Vega really need to get some vision down here now, but the Sigil is the only thing that can do it, and Mag's holding onto it for the moment. Roshan down to 3k life, and Mag, he comes in close, he throws the shards down. So they understand what's going on, but it's already too late. EG's got what they came for. They even get a tornado hit over to Solo, and Sumail blinks forward. Yulcip was over on the Tusker, take him out of the fight with the cooldown damage. Maybe they got enough, but Doombringer, Pasha finally gets that Doom off on Sumail. They'll find the killer. No, they won't. They cold embrace, and the Greaves, and then they're back into a wall. Mag's down. The curse is over on Pasha. He can't run away. No one at least has that extra help from the paralyzing cast. Consema letting that Death Ward go, but Arteezy is the man taking all of it at the moment. And you know they're coming back. Fear charging over as she runs through 3 heroes on his way through. Sumail will burn the Aegis of the Immortal. And he actually has no real friends here. So no one's waiting for him to come back up against Sumail. Runs into the Ghost Walk. Where's your detection? It doesn't exist. Sumail can now blink away to safety. So that ends up being a 3-for-1 trade-off. And that's actually technically a 2-for-1 trade-off because you burnt the Aegis of the Immortal.
That looked like it was going to be way, way worse for Vega than how it ended up.
It really did.
The Death Ward kind of salvaged that fight here from Sema. He found a very nice spot in the tree line on the right where he didn't get countered out, and he did so much damage to Arteezy, who very understandably played that fight super aggressive. He just ran into their faces and started hitting them with flak cannon. That was such a good fight from both Sema and, by the way, no one during that fight hitting those key raises onto the Darkseer and taking him out, removing the Grease from the fight.
The amount of times that Sema's got a full duration ward off in this game is actually quite staggering.
He's very patient. That's the key against a lineup like this.
Maybe
that's when EG, someone else.
Maybe that's when EG has to look for a different type of disable. Oh,
they have plenty.
Yeah.
They just, I mean,
they
realistically,
just used it all at the start.
I don't think they played that fight wrong, to be honest, EG. The thing that was, maybe the way they extended it was wrong, but the initiation and the calls and the thought behind it I thought was perfectly fine. You can't focus too much in a Witch Doctor on the back lines while you get mauled at by a Doom and a Tusk. In the front lines, of course, Shadow Fiend.
So then maybe it's just going to be survivability. Get Arteezy into that helm with the Dominator, because he's still missing the lifesteal from his attacks.
He should have run out of the Death Ward earlier.
Yeah.
That's what he could have done. And then he would have probably survived just from running away.
Yeah.
But again, the read on the fight was that they were winning.
Normally Arteezy likes to sit at the front of the fight, though. If you look back through some of his replays, even just from the group stage, you notice he's always that last player from EG that leaves the fight. Always likes to be the first one in, the last one out.
Let's see now. Of course, the BKB on Pasha now available, so 10-second one on him. No one's is down to 8. They have the tools they need. Almost an Axe actually now on Solo, who had such a rough start. Is starting to... He has an Urn, Cloak, Wand, and soon an Axe. It's not a great inventory for 30 minutes by any means, but he's actually still richer than Fear's Spirit Breaker with the Midas.
And really, it's that value net worth. We talked about that in game number 1. We can see it here in game number 2. If you can get that vision that the Night Stalker offers, then EG's ability to initiate the fights is a lot harder. Like Darkseer doesn't have the 4-star build, he's going for the Shiva's Guard instead. So you'll be able to see when he's in range for a Blink Dagger. The Wyvern doesn't have Blink or Force, so that's also going to be the big advantage for them. The Spirit Breaker they'll see charging in from a long way away, and they have ways to interrupt him when he charges in.
They have really good counter to Spirit Breaker charge.
Yep. They just need the vision.
Snowball is great, Cask is great.
They just need the vision, that's it.
Void is great. As long as he's just in the right angle, he can very easily void him without being charged. And yep, it is a big item, but I don't think EG want to wait for it.
No.
It looks like they want to take the tier 2.
They may not have a choice. It's 120 gold away for Solo. And Vega are purposefully giving him, like they gave him all the top lane, now they give him the mid lane. But that means Solo won't have buyback for this upcoming fight, but for the vision cost, it's worth it. You get full souls on an SF as well. And EG are ready to come. Like you look for these Necro books, they've already been triggered from Sumail, and he'll run them in first.
I'm very curious to see what no one does with his 4k gold right now. I think it bothers him that he can't use his money right now. He has to defend.
Yep.
Taking a lot of damage from killing the blue Necro.
Pash is coming in from the side. Paralyzing Karnsky is going to bounce up, so EG will have to take the stuns here. And in fact, Vega, they're coming out of the base. They're using Solo to get their stun over an Arteezy. They keep him isolated. The rest of EG have to turn around and try and protect him. The BKB Doom is not for the curse. It isolates Pasha for the moment with the also deafening blasts. Meteorite being thrown down. They have enough to back wall. Vega are just taking through this. Now Seema, patience really is his virtue. He sits back with that death wall. The cold embrace is making it pretty difficult to do anything, but EG have lost 3 heroes already in this fight, and Vega haven't lost a single iota.
They can't get any collateral though, as it looks. Maybe a tier 2 tower bottom, but no Roshan for them. Still, given the circumstances, a very good fight for them. And the problem here for EG is when Arteezy gets caught out like this and has to use BKB, Vega are not clustered up. They got a 1-man Meteor, they got a 2-man Curse, and one of the guys cursed was even under BKB. So the spells from EG just didn't do much. It was a 1 or 2 hero back wall at the end.
Yeah,
this is exactly what Vega want. If the fight happens on multiple fronts, EG's lineup is actually pretty weak. It's so much focused around that 5-man and the faith they put in universe as vacuums, but I mean, there's only so much you can do when the heroes are 1500 range away from each other.
Yeah. Man, this is Vega now working back into this game. If you actually look at the net worth graph, it's very similar to game number 1. The shoe's just on the other foot. That's the 2 dives down, and now it just can swing back the way of Vega. The experience is already heavily on the way, and Sumail, maybe not the greatest thing, caught in the tree, actually has to wait this out, because he doesn't have a 4-star, he has to wait for the Blink Dagger. Sorry, Sumail, we're sorry. And where does he go from here? Now, you get a Shiva's Guard over on the Darkseer, so you'll have that. Is this going to be an AC game for the Invoker? Is this going to be one of those times where you've already got the Necro units, you got to push, you got to take a Rax. You got to get that lane advantage coming the way of EG.
I'm thinking you can try for a Lincoln's. I don't think that's going to cut it though. Now that Doom does have Blink, it allows you enough time to maybe react to...
So you can level Death and Doom at the same time, or...?
Yeah, now he can just blink Doom. Else he needs to blink, level Death, and then Doom. But if he has Scorched Earth on him, Sumail actually can't blink. So it's a tricky situation for the Invoker, I think. More than anything, the most important thing for him is just to stand as far back as possible and not get doomed. Then any item after that is kind of great. I think Aghanims is fine, just lower cooldown. Octarine Core could be good. Some utility from a Hex, not bad either.
If Sumail's standing back, who stands in the front? Because at the moment it's the Spirit Breaker who charges in, but he comes from behind. Arteezy, again, then becomes the cannon fodder for EG.
Yeah, until Arteezy has his Satanic, it's difficult for him to just stand in the front with confidence.
Yeah.
And even when he does get one, he still has to be wary of getting doomed.
And is that what he builds into? Because if he goes through a Satanic, he's got no direct way to attack into no one. No one's already got the full Butterfly completed. He kind of needs to go the Monkey King bar. He also just needs a basic Demon Edge, because without the Demon Edge, he doesn't have the damage during the fights. You can have all the lifesteal and Satanic you want, but without the damage, it doesn't really work together.
No. It's the right call to go MKB first, for sure. Let's see what Vega want to do. So no one bought an ulti orb.
Just Scotty tank it up.
It could just be Scotty with his butterfly.
There's little reason to go the Lincoln Sphere in this game.
Not really. I was wondering if he wanted to disassemble his Sanjin Yashin and get a Manta and then sell the Sanj and get something else, but Manta isn't that good here either.
Yeah. Scotty makes
Scotty
sense.
is probably the best choice.
Yeah. Just tank it up, just survive.
Out of those three, anyway. I don't know if it's the best choice overall. It's great for him to get the orb effect, so he has more reliable slow on the targets he latches onto, but at the same time, I think Satanic is also great in this game, since EG will struggle to bring him down in one go, so he could heal up to full, and then the health from Satanic would be way better than what he gets from the Scotty. But of course, it's a multi-purpose item, so it's not that simple.
EG are just dodging Vega so hard. Like Vega forced out the top lane, EG were pushing in the bottom and the mid. And now, Vega moved towards the bottom lane where there is actually no tier 2 tower, so they commit a heavy amount of people, and they probably hope that Roshan's is going to spawn up soon.
Oh,
he's 45 seconds away, but it's still the longer end of the 3-minute duration.
They know that he will spawn during the nighttime. That's the important thing, is they will have so good vision. You see Solo already finds this other ward with the gem, so EG currently with one ward on the map when this gets removed.
Yeah, they put it up on the top.
I don't know. I think it's so hard for EG to engage into a Roche pit fight. They have such a great lineup for Roche,
Well, why
but they'll
engage?
never have the element of surprise.
Just go for the trade-off. You've done quite significant damage to most of the tier 3 towers. That bottom tower is only sitting at 121 life. The top tower hasn't taken as much damage, but if EG can keep the lanes pressured in, Sumail just sends his Forge Spirits, his Necro units, doesn't have to risk its own life to do the push, then Vega don't really have the choice to go in for Roshan. Because how quickly can they do it? Do you have enough damage from the SF
They're pretty quick.
to get through Roshan? But quick enough to make sure they don't have a bad trade.
They have Alpha Wolf and Vlad's Aura, so this is a very quick kill for Shadow Fiend if they go in. The bottom lane is, like you said, the main concern for them. The top one, they have a 1400 health tower with a glyph buffer. That should be more than enough. And I think right now the play call is go push out bottom. The moment you've done that, go Roche. And I think EG would... It's hard to say.
Can they get the kill? Sumail blinks. They've already got the silence. The Tornado will buy him a little bit of space. He dispels by popping up that Yule Scepter. But can he get out? No, he's blocked! Pasture as well as Solo. They extended the wings and kept him trapped between the trees, and now it is Roshan time.
Yeah, they're conceding it. This is the right call. I was wondering, even with Sumail alive, if they were going to fight for it or not, because, again, the superior vision makes it very hard. The chance that they get the engage they're looking for is very, very little. Here we go, Scotty plus Aegis. How are they? And double damage for good measure. Oh, it gets bottled by Witch Doctor. Okay. Yeah.
For the glory of the Hags, he needs the extra damage to get the CS. But Vega are looking to push at this point. They've still got 38 seconds left on the Death Ward, but the Requiem is up with max souls. No one's in a great position. Mag's looking to engage as well. Your Doom's off cooldown. Your BKB's available as well. 9 seconds for the Doombringer. And Universe just starts creep skipping it. So if they can get rid of... With Splinter Blast, they can actually get rid of almost all of this creep wave. So Universe, by doing this, effectively stops the push from Vega. They have to commit so heavily. And PPD, he's actually able to get himself almost away from this one. They kept the vision up, Vega, and now they attack into the tier 3 tower. This is really problematic. In fact, Vega, they will be taking out this melee Rax. Arteezy's not ready to come back again. They've already taken it, so... Well, okay, he is starting the TP, and Vega's going to go for 2. Is this greedy, though? Universe jumps forward, misses! Completely wafts the back with a blink. The BKB did, however, go off from the Doombringer. So this will start to time out. They have no Wyvern with a Tornado. Oh, that Doom. It's over on Arteezy, so there's no extra damage, but he already got the cooldown off Fear, charging himself forward. They got that Sunstrike looking for the damage. Partial will remain alive through it. That Snowball very deep. Going up the Universe and dragging no one with him, but it gets range through Arteezy, who's going to completely control it by that paralyzing cast, and now brought down by no one. Bottom lane, remember what they're here for, Vega. They need to be able to get that advantage, but the curse onto no one. EG, they keep Seamer as well as no one here with the ice wall. There's no easy run away from this one, but Sumail, that bloody paralyzing cast bouncing around. Universe will drop. Fear can't buy enough space. The snowball from Mag and chase after the dead hero is already GG. EG understand it was this or nothing, as in fact nothing. No one gets the ultra kill, and 17, 22, 40 minutes for this game. Vega will force a deciding match between EG.
And all it took for this game for Vega to come back, I think EG played an amazing early game. Their early mid game to me was super high class. The problem that starts showing is we saw the fight in the bottom lane. The moment Vega attacked from two fronts, it gets so much harder for EG to perform in the lineup. The fights they got on their terms were incredible.